Welcome back to the up and down matches. Things are pretty tied up here, so the next 3 games are going to kind of set us up for how things finish up tonight.
Exactly. Things are really heating up at the GSL studio in Mukdong right now. We have Happy against YugiOh. Both of them have 2 wins, 1 loss, and they are facing each other. YugiOh only has to face Terran players right now. And here you can see the scores of the day. Trader still having chances here, but Killer, well, he is out of Codex for sure. He is going to play today next season.
Yeah. Killer is out, down for the count here. Now, if YugiOh wins, it will put him ahead in the group, and the same can be said of Happy, though, on the other hand. So, obviously, these next 2 games are going to be really important for all these tied players.
Yeah, and it all comes down to the question, how good is the Zerg versus Terran of YugiOh these days?
Exactly.
It's actually, if you just watch his match history overall, it's his worst matchup. He has a 38% win ratio, and he lost in the WCS career to a Terran player. He lost to Reality.
And he's only played against Process so far. He's had 3 Process to face in this group, and for this reason, is obviously better prepared for Protoss. It's something he probably spent a lot more time trying to prepare for. Obviously, he has the potential to face 2 Terrans, but the Protoss is also the players he faced first, which kind of sets the precedent for how your score is going to be in the group.
Here we have our players. YugiOh in the Slayer's jersey here, whereas Happy is once again not cracking a smile or anything like it. Nope. He definitely chose the wrong nickname.
Yeah, he totally did. It's probably, I guess...
He's more like, I'm Frankie.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of irony, I suppose, that he chose this ID.
The map is in Tomb Valley, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GSL up and downs, and we are heading into our next match. It's Zerg versus Terran, and YugiOh up against Happy. Well, GIM player starts at the bottom right of the map. In the red, it's of course the Terran who calls himself.
Here's GIM Happy.
Happy so far was taken down by Creator. That was the first loss that he got, but he won the next 2 games. He won against Vampire, and he was also able to win against Supernova. A really nice strategy.
Yeah, great strategy.
He's up against the Zerg player to the top right. In blue, we have our Slayers player. He's called
Slayers YugiOh.
being on exactly the same map score. In the first game, he lost. He lost to Vampire, actually. And then was able to edge out a win against Killer. And also, of course, against Creator. Against 2 of the Protoss opponents that he faced so far.
We are at close air positions as well here. Happy going to pull back to make his barracks, looks like. Or actually, no, he will command center first. Interesting choice. Up against YugiOh, a player who has shown in the past to be very aggressive at times. Not so much in this matchup, but you know, in general. He's a scary opponent to go command center first against.
YugiOh is also an opponent who will not necessarily go for the 15 hatch here. He might do it, but right now we... Yep, you have the probe already walking down the ramp, so he will take the hatch first. But he's one of those players who sometimes still goes, for example, for the pool first, and which gives him a few opportunities in the early game.
Yeah. And he's not going to be able to get away with that this time, though. Or rather, he's not going to choose to go for that this time. Going hatch first instead. Happy with the command center first makes this into kind of a funny situation, but a great position to be a Terran. YugiOh with the close positions may see, it doesn't look, no, his Overlord's not going in the correct direction to actually allow him to go double hatch before pool.
Yeah, the second Overlord is already on his way right now to the natural and will spot, of course, the command center first. But at least, even though he didn't go for the double hatch before pool, he edged out a lot of additional drones. So he played quite greedy here.
Yeah.
The double barracks follow-up for Happy, blocking the ramp.
Exactly. He is going to be able to follow this up with double gas as well. Most Terran players will always go for double barracks before the gases are taken.
Roughly a year ago, they faced each other in the round of 16 at Code A, and Happy won the match with a 2-0. So YugiOh has to be a little bit careful. Of course, the game that they played, it was ages ago, and everything was completely different back then. These days, Terran players are struggling a little bit more with Zerg, but just in general, YugiOh is facing a matchup that he's not too comfortable with.
He's also taking gas, so I wonder what he's going to do with this. He may just get speed and then take his third base. That seems a bit Yu-Gi-Oh style, but Baneling aggression is possible as well. We're going to have to watch very closely, find out what his plan is with this. Happy scouts the incorrect direction, unless he has something planned. Is he going to take a hidden command center? Because that would be strange. He's already seen the Overlord, so it's kind of weird that he sent his SCV in the wrong direction.
He spotted the top left and is now headed straight for the top right. The third base for YugiOh is now coming up. Double gas for Happy. He wants to go straight for his tech here. And one of the things that the Zerg player is already doing is working at the rocks between the natural and the third base.
Now, it is possible that Happy sent his SCV around the left side to not be spotted, so he could go and check the third base 100%, but now he sees it, so that's really crucial for him because he can plan his next move as a result. He's actually going to bunker here as well.
Gas is still mining, by the way. We have Gas still mining for Happy. And the Zerglings so far have not spotted this SCV that is building the bunker right now. The hatch is not going to finish for another couple of seconds, and with the Marines now walking across the map, this is actually something that might work for Happy quite well.
Yeah, this is going to be great if he gets it. The wing is going towards the bunker, and he is going to check for it, but it's going to be too late. The bunker will finish. Oh, he decides not to go down behind the mineral line. And the bunker still is going to finish, though. He's desperately trying to get the Marines inside. The Lings are not close enough. Will he cancel the hatchery? I don't think he can. I mean, he can certainly do it, but is it going to be worth it? Does he have enough Lings to break it? Not yet. Not until the rest of them come out. He makes 16 right now.
So far, the bunker didn't do anything at all. He's trying to get into position, and here are the Marines walking up the ramp. The factory, by the way, done. And the Marines are now in the bunker. No SCV to build another one. The Lings on low ground. The hatch, he will most likely not lose it. There are just too many Zerglings already on the way, but Happy is following this up with the starport and another base. He's going to 3 bases, but YugiOh has other problems right now.
He does. Halfway dead is the hatchery. The Lings come through. He's going to want to trade against the Lings. He cannot target the hatchery, and he trades decently here, but the hatchery will survive, and now he's got no Marines that he sent out initially. And if he makes a Baneling Nest and attacks, this could be deadly, but he's not planning on that, I don't feel.
One of the biggest problems, of course, for YugiOh is that he had to build all these Zerglings. This is something that you want to avoid. All the lava is usually spent for drones, and now the Zerglings are able to run in. There is no wall or anything like it, so Happy has to pull his SCVs off.
Yeah, and he's trying to pull them back here for the Hellions. With so many SCVs already being lost, the Lings lining up really great for the Hellions, but still, every SCV at the natural killed, including the Mule.
Yeah, 5 have been killed already, so well done by YugiOh using those Zerglings.
And I was completely mistaken. Those SCVs stacked up, I thought they were all dead.
I mean, that's fine. If you see the resources lost, they lost roughly the same amount of resources, but the SCVs that were lost, of course, that's a little bit of a different tale, as they lost the mining time as well. So YugiOh making the best out of a bad situation. He was definitely... he did not want to build those Zerglings, but at least he could use them.
Yeah, and he used them well. He's got a lot of gas banked up now, 434 in fact at this moment speaking. Hellions are going to pose a problem for him since he lost all those Lings earlier on. He doesn't really have a strong force to defend this base with. He hesitates with the Hellions though.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to go onto the creep. That's one of the problems that he has. He doesn't want to be caught, because if you lose all the Hellions, then you lose your momentum on the map, you lose the control. But he could have killed a fair amount of harvesters, you're right. So he could have used this, but he decided to not to place it a little bit safer.
Exactly. And now he sends his Banshee across the map, which has completely skipped Cloak. He's just going for 1 Banshee, it looks like, as he switches his starport back at home. This is going to be really annoying to deal with as a Zerg player. He's already forced the Spore Crawlers, for example. Now he can start to deny creep and even pick off Lings that get too close to the Hellions.
And YugiOh is now going for 5 gas. He really wants to make this lair tech worth his while. And with all the drones that he's building, he's going for a very, very economy-heavy game. And what kind of tech is he going to choose here?
Well, it may be Fast Infestors. That's a possibility. He's getting +1 for those things now. Mutalisk tech is something that, against this many Marines that are already on the map, that I think he will probably be pretty reluctant to do, although they are close by air.
It's not really the best play at the best map for Mutalisk, I feel. Well, you can... It depends. It depends on your style. You can play this map with Mutalisk if you want to, but usually what we rather see is the Infestation tech that you already mentioned.
Double Macro Hatch at third base for YugiOh. He's really not skimping on production.
He could actually play a style that we've seen just recently when Mia was up against Fold. There's the Infestation bit. Yeah. Just this very tier 2 heavy style where you go for all these Zerglings heavily upgraded, but he only uses 1 evolution chamber.
And he is getting the 4th hatchery as well here. He's kind of doing everything at once, trying to use his lings. YugiOh has shown us in all of his games so far today that he really is loving this idea of making tons and tons of lings. Right now, 27 of them on the map. This double drop play is going to be a problem. It's very hard to attack this with Hellions on the ground, especially the Banshee being here as well.
If he wants to use this strategy, he needs a Baneling Nest. The Infestation Pit is nice, but Banelings are something that he needs, and there's the Baneling Nest as well. But here comes the attack, and a good position, a very, very good position for Happy. Look at how well he positioned his Marines and also the Aliens.
This is going to be a huge problem for YugiOh. He loses a few drones to start with,
he's
but
going
he's
to
going to
lose
lose the hatch, and that's the most important thing. The Broodlings come out, but look at the position here. Even the Queens struggle to deal with the Banshee right now with all the Marines on the ground. Hellions need to help out, though.
Look at this DPS. He can take this.
Yeah, he's just going to take this game, it looks like, as the Queens now have no support. The more Lings rallying out, but he doesn't have Banelings yet. He's going to need those. He's going to lose his Infestation Pit, or rather his Evolution Chamber.
And he's losing the upgrades therefore. Oh, those Overlords are headed right for the Marine army. And +1/+1 is already done. More and more Zerglings are now being built, but this is a great army for Happy. This Strike Force is taking YugiOh down.
He thought about canceling the Larva as there were units surrounding him, but he did not. Now he will actually surround and take out a lot of these Terran units. In fact, probably getting all of them, but he's just lost so much in the process.
Exactly. YugiOh can be happy that his 4th base is done, because that is something that he can use as his 3rd right now. But he lost 12 Harvesters. In resources, we have the Zerg player now down 4,700 minerals.
Yeah, Happy at just about 2,000 lost, so consider that. And the upgrades for Happy are coming out quite nicely. 2/2, +1 for Siege Tanks, extra Barracks. He's got a 4th Command Center coming up. Everything for Happy is lining up exactly as he wants it to. He's even almost the same Harvester count as YugiOh.
This was crazy. This was really crazy. If +2/+2, well, when? As soon as +2/+2 hits, then he moves out. He can take advantage of his upgrades. He can take advantage of his unit composition, of his tech, and he's moving out now with the siege tanks. And yes, now we have a few Zerglings, but still without speed. This hive tech is not something that he's going to be able to use.
No, he's not going to be able to use that at all if Happy doesn't want him to, and it looks like so far he doesn't want him to. The Banelings do not even have speed started. There's no way he can engage against this many Marines, even on creep with those Banelings. Ling's spawning to die here as Happy has spread every unit he has really well across the map. And he comes in from the sides, and the Lings actually connect pretty decently here. The Banelings, though, even get some connects, and Happy, not with the best unit control, but in the end, he still just has too much.
Yeah, he's still 50 supply ahead of his opponent, is now aiming straight for the 4th base and about to take it out. Even with all those macro hatches, the production, of course, is great, but there's just not enough that he can do. The Queens are going to die here against the siege tanks if they're not careful, and the second wave, that's the biggest problem that Happy has right now.
Yeah, he saved several of his units here, forcing his opponent to eat siege tank fire in the second wave. You're so right. Is the nail in the coffin for YugiOh. He's now down to 78 supply. The units being redropped out of these medevacs. There's just so much DPS here. 2/2 upgrades on the way for YugiOh, but Happy's already got them done. He's killing all the drones that are going from this 4th base. All the spines gone as well. Baneling speed, again, not even started right now for YugiOh. And he's
looking worse and worse.
Yeah, he's going to just die here. Even no splitting from Happy, just kills the Banelings before they get there. GG.
GG, the game is over, and therefore we have Happy being the first one in this group that is able to reach 3 wins. YugiOh finds himself at 2 wins and 2 losses.
Oh, Happy, man. He's still showing a lack of emotion, but YugiOh not going to be feeling happy, not even close. A good performance so far today, but cutting that Baneling Nest out of the picture was just too much. It was too risky trying to do everything at once. Double macro hatch plus the 4th base. He had 3 hatcheries in production plus infestors. And Happy, he just went for a normal attack and it was like, whoa, he doesn't have anything.
It was a pretty straightforward win. With this draw play, that was something that YugiOh was not ready for. Happy punished him severely. And now we have Creator against Killer in a Protoss versus Protoss coming up that we talked about. Right, Creator definitely being one of the best PvP players in Korea now. Yeah. It's of course really hard to say because we've seen this riddle with amazing matches. The GSL Codex finals between MC and Seed also comes to mind.
But basically, we put some of the best Protoss players in the world all in a room, about 4 or 5 of them together, and asked them to destroy each other. And in the end, Creator came out on top. Killer is just not on the same level as those Protosses, and we'll see if he can make something happen here. Getting a little bit unlucky with his build order choice again on Atlantis Spaceship, but his opponent, I feel, choosing the better one for the map, and we'll see what Killer's got planned here.
If Killer actually takes down Creator here, he would destroy the chances of the Prime player to advance.
So that's basically what he's vying for here, as he himself cannot advance. He's the sandbag player. The map is going to be Whirlwind, a huge map for Protoss versus Protoss, and Killer right now is fighting for pride, trying to knock the young Protoss player, the WCS champion, out here at the Up and Downs.
The game is about to start. PvP, Creator against Killer at the GSL Up and Downs.